yogis, welcome to today's yoga session where we will focus on the crown chakra. Our crown chakra is located at the top of our head. It is associated with our connection to the universal self, divine, universal knowledge, and we're going to envision it as a white light emanating from our head. All right? So, to get started, find yourself in a comfortable seated position. Maybe close the eyes. And we'll take a few cleansing breaths, just checking in with how our body's feeling at this moment right now, and letting everything else, all of the mundane tasks of the regular world, to fall away for the next hour or so. Alright, if your eyes are closed, I invite you to open them up. Let's tap into our crown chakra. Reach your hands out to the sides, palms up. So inhale, bring them up. Bring the palms of the hands together, fingers spread wide, and we'll bring it down to the crown chakra. Perhaps you'd like to set an intention for today's class. Something like, I know, or I am connected. Whatever you choose, repeat it to yourself several times. All right, let's bring our hands down to heart center. And we're going to go into a circle of joy warm-up. Starting here, let's inhale, interlace the fingers. Exhale, press it forward, curve the spine like in a seated cat, chin to chest. Inhale, lift the arms up overhead. Exhale, release them down. Take them behind, interlace the fingers. Inhale, gaze lifts. Chest lifts, hands press down. Exhale, let's bring the hands back around to the front. All right, let's do it again together. Inhale, interlace. Exhale, press forward. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release, interlace. Inhale, lift, chest, press down. Exhale, bring it back to the front. Great job. Now we're going to go through that 3 more times. No cueing on my part, but if you need the assistance, you can keep watching. Last round. Nice job. From here, let's make our way onto our backs. Knees bent, feet flat on the floor. And then let's tuck our knees into the chest, give yourself a big hug, and we'll give ourselves a gentle back massage. Maybe rocking side to side or circling the knees. If you're circling, let's remember to reverse it. And let's settle back in. Everybody bring your hands to your knees. We're going to go into a little flow. Inhale, let the feet drop toward the earth. as far as your arms can extend. Exhale, pull it back into your chest. Keep moving and breathing with your own breath. Hopefully you breathe with your own breath. It'd be weird to breathe with somebody else's. Let's do 3 more. From here, let's release the hands to the ground. Let the knees come away, feet to the floor. Stick our feet about hip width apart. We'll go into some flowing bridges. So inhale, lift the hips, roll up onto the shoulders. Exhale, roll it back down. Keep moving and flowing with your own breath. See if you can get the next one a little higher. 2 more. From here, let's take the arms out to the side, either straight out or cactus, depending on your space and preference. Let's bring the knees together. Inhale where you're at. Exhale, drop your knees to the right. Inhale back through center. Exhale, take them to the left. All right, keep moving and flowing. Option to add the head by looking in the opposite direction of where your knees are going. Let's finish up the round you're on. And we'll meet back in center. You can release the arms. Let's make our way into a tabletop position, whether you want to roll to the side or rock forward to get there. Let's get set up really well. Shoulders over wrists. Hips over knees. Okay, we're going to go into a cat-cow child's pose flow. So let's inhale, drop the belly, chest and gaze come forward, just like in a normal cow. Exhale, go to cat, press into the floor, arch the spine, and then sit back to child's pose. Inhale, come to table, drop the belly, cow pose. Exhale, arch, and then push back. So keep moving and flowing with your own breath. Next time you find yourself in child's pose, let's meet there. From here, let's make sure our fingers are spread wide, coming straight forward from the shoulders. So lift the hips, tuck the toes, press up and back, downward facing dog. It's our first dog, so let's really bend the knees or walk out the dog. Trying to be really long through the from the crown of the head through the tailbone. From our downward facing dog, we're going to go into a flow sequence. The first time through, we'll go kind of slow so we can check alignment and just get the idea of what poses we're using in what order. And the next couple of times, we'll go through following our breath, one pose, one movement. One pose, one breath. And then we'll do it really slow with some long holds. Okay, so from here, let's inhale the right leg high. Step forward as far as you can. Pivot the back foot to come down for a warrior one stance. And then lift the torso up, arms up. Make sure this knee is still tracking toward the toes and that our pelvis is level. From our warrior one, we're going to open into warrior two. Gaze is forward. Option to pivot that back foot so it's parallel to the back edge of the mat if that's how you prefer to do your warrior twos. From here, we'll drop that back hand, flip the front hand palm up, reach back for a reverse warrior. Make sure to keep the bend in the front knee. And then we're going to tip it all the way forward. Right arm comes to the right thigh. Left arm comes up overhead, reaching long for extended side angle. And then we'll tip it back up to a warrior two. And windmill our hands down to the floor, rotate that back foot so toes face forward, step it back, downward facing dog. Okay, we'll walk through it slowly on the left side as well. So inhale the left leg high, round forward, step as far as you can. You can always use your hand to inch your foot forward if you need to. Rotate that back foot down to the mat, rise up, warrior one. Make sure we are strong in the shoulders, but not scrunched. And let's open it to warrior two. Again, adjust that back foot if you need to. Arms nice and long and strong. Gaze out over those front fingertips. Make sure that front knee doesn't dip in as it likes to do in warrior two. Take it to reverse warrior. Option to look up at that top arm or just straight ahead in front of you. Feel it out with your neck. See what works best for you. Let's take it into extended side angle. Option to reach down to the mat if you can do that and keep open to the long side of your mat. Let's take it back up, warrior two. And then we'll windmill it down, rotate that back foot onto the ball of the foot, toes facing forward. Step back, downward facing dog. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing, but a lot faster, and we're going to pair it with our breath. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, step it forward. Plant the back foot. Inhale, up to warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, extended, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, windmill down, back downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, step it forward. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, windmill it down. And step it back. Whew. All right, now we're going to work through that same flow 2 full times, so 2 times each side. And I'm not going to cue. So hopefully you found it, the order of the poses from the first 2 trials. If not, don't worry, I'm going to keep doing it with you so you can watch. So here we go, let's get started together. Inhale, right leg high. One more time through. And we'll all meet in downward facing dog. From here, we're going to go through one more time, but this time we're going to hold each pose. So let's inhale that right leg high. Round forward, knee to nose, step it up as far as you can. Rotate that back foot down. Let's lift up into our warrior 1. Open it to your warrior 2. Drop the back hand, flip the front hand, reach back, reverse that warrior. Don't lose the bend in your front knee. And let's tip it forward. Right forearm on the right thigh. Left arm reaches up to the top of the mat. Long line of energy off of the way from the tips of the fingers through the outside edge of that left foot. Inhale, tip up to warrior 2. And windmill the hands down, rotate that back foot, step it back, downward facing dog. All right, other side. Let's take that left foot high. Step it forward, rotate the back foot down, rise on up, deep bend in that front knee. Hips are level, tall through the crown of the head. Open it up to warrior 2. Level through the arms. Let's reverse our warrior. Keep that bend in the front knee. Step it forward, come into extended side angle. Really reach through that top arm. Long all the way through the left side of the body, right side of the body, along through the right side of the body. Let's come back up to warrior two. And windmill it down to the floor. Step it back, downward facing dog. From here, let's walk our feet up to the top of the mat. Grab opposite elbows and we'll dangle. Option to bend the knees, support the low back. Also, option to sway slightly from side to side. Let's release. We'll slowly come on up. Let's turn to face the long edge of our mat. Step it wide for a wide leg forward fold. Toes can be perpendicular to the long edge of the mat, or you can rotate it out depending on how it feels on your joints. Let's bring our hands to our hips, nice and tall through the crown of the head. And we're going to fold forward halfway. Let's stop here. And then release further if you choose. Letting the crown of the head reach toward the floor. If you have a deep and wide forward fold, it might make it there. And take any movement you'd like here, maybe a little shifting side to side or forward and backward. Alright, from here, let's revolve our triangle. We'll reach our right hand down to the middle of the mat. It's okay if it doesn't make it there. Just reach toward the middle of the mat. Left hand's going to reach up toward the sky. We're opening up the torso toward the left side of the mat. Release the left hand down, place it in the middle where the right hand was, and we'll take the right hand up toward the ceiling, opening our torso to the right side of the mat now. Let's release it back down. Take a few breaths to reset in the center. Let's bring our hands up to our hips. Come up halfway. And then bring it all the way back up. Let's walk our feet in. Come to a mountain pose. Let's make sure the weight is distributed between the ball of the foot and the heel. Knees are unlocked. Pelvis is level. Tall through the spine, up through the crown of the head. Chin just slightly tucked. Keep the ears in line with the shoulders. Let's bring the palms facing forward. Really find your strength and stability here. And then let's shift our weight over to that right foot. Left foot comes up as a kickstand or travels up the inside of the right leg, maybe the calf, maybe the thigh. Pick arms of choice and a focal point to help you balance. On your next exhale, let's release everything back down to the ground with control. Notice any difference from one side of the body to the other. And let's take it over to the left. So let's shift the weight to the left. Bring that right foot up wherever it's going to go on this side. Could be the same or drastically different. Arms could be hips, heart center, up overhead like the branches of a tree. Let's release everything back down to the ground with control. Great job. From here, let's step it up to the top of the mat. Interlace your fingers behind your back. We're going to press down, tip back, look at the ceiling, get a slight back bend here. Come back up, keep the hands together. We're gonna fold forward. Really press through those shoulders, through the hands. Your hands may be still back here toward your bum. They might be straight up at the ceiling, or they may come all the way over and point at the floor. Wherever you're at is where you're at, and it's a great place to be today. Let's release the arms. Standing forward fold. Always the option to bend the knees here. Okay, let's plant the hands. Step it back to downward facing dog. From here, we're going to revolve our dog. So let's take our right hand. We're going to reach toward the left ankle. It's okay if you land at the left thigh, the left calf, or maybe you stay in your downward facing dog. If we're revolved, let's look under that left armpit. Let's unwind, reach long, and we're going to shift our weight forward. We're going to bring our right knee to the right wrist, right ankle out toward the left wrist. Really flex that right ankle. Slide the left back to come into our half pigeon. Option to stay up here on your hands or come down onto your forearms if it's too much stress on your back. Let's tuck the toes on the left foot, press up and back, downward facing dog. Let's evolve it on the other side. So now our left hand is going to reach toward that right ankle, looking under the right armpit. Let's unwind. Let's go for pigeon on this side. So we'll bring our shifter right forward, left knee to left wrist, flex the left ankle, bring it toward the right wrist, slide that right leg back. Option to stay up on your hands or come down on your forearms. Let's tuck the toes on the right foot, lift up and back, downward facing dog. See if you can find a little ease in this downward facing dog. From our downward facing dog, let's shift our weight forward, make any adjustments you need to. We're going to hang out in plank for 3 breaths. And then lower it down to the mat, keeping the elbows close by your sides. Bring the hands to the top of the mat, rest the forehead on the hands or just below. Maybe shake out the hips. From here, let's bring our hands near our rib, press up and back to sit on your heels. Nice and upright in Thunderbolt pose. Today we're going to do lion face in Thunderbolt legs. So lion face, we inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth, sticking out the tongue, maybe squinting the eyes, being really ferocious in a playful way. So let's try that out. All right, let's do it 3 more times in a row. All right, from here, let's rise up into a kneeling position. We'll bring our hands to our low back, chin slightly tucked, and we're going to lean back into Camel Pose. Option to reach down and grab the ankles if you can do that and keep your hips forward. Otherwise, just stay here with our hands on our back. Inhale, come on up, sit back onto our shins, or onto our heels again. We're going to go into rabbit pose. So let's bring our forehead down. We're going to tuck in close, holding onto the heels, lift the hips, roll onto the crown of the head. Let's roll it back down. Notice any sensations that arise in the crown of the head after doing that pose. Maybe there's some tingling, or maybe there's some heat or coolness. Just notice. Maybe it feels no different at all, and that's okay. Let's go up into rabbit one more time. Forehead down, lift the hips, roll onto the crown of the head. And roll it back down. Okay, we are going to head into child's pose for a while. Option to do knees together or knees wide. We can extend it, reaching forward, or tuck our arms behind. Whatever you prefer here, we're going to hold it for 9 breaths. Let's walk the hands back toward the body, coming upright with the torso, bringing the knees together if they were apart. Sit to one side, extend the legs long, feet flexed for staff pose. So we're sitting up tall, all the way through the crown of the head, feet are flexed. Let's bring our hands to the mat. Just get a very gentle stretch on the inside of the wrist. From here, we're going to go into greeting the earth side bend. So let's turn our bodies to the right. We're going to place our hands onto the floor, just behind our bum, along the line of the long edge of the mat. And we're going to bend our head down toward the mat. Maybe you make it, probably not, I don't know. Getting a little side twisty bend. Let's press into the earth, come back up, unwind so we're neutral, and let's take it to the other side. So let's greet the earth to the left. I'm going to bring the hands out, bow down, try to keep both hips, both butt cheeks on the floor. Let's press into the mat, come back up. Unwind, we're going to go into a seated forward fold. So sitting up nice and tall, let's fold forward. Trying to reach for the toes, crown of the head, facing the feet, maybe. Depends how far we get into this. But think long through the crown of the head. Walk the hands back up, come back up to seated. We're going to open the front of the hip back up by going into a reverse tabletop. So let's bend the knees, feet flat on the floor, hands come behind the bum, facing towards the bum. All right, let's inhale, lift the hips. Hopefully we're set up so that we're pretty stacked. Adjust if you need to. Let's release back down. And we're gonna go up into our reverse tabletop one more time. See if you can lift your hips a little higher, maybe get a little flatter. Inhale, lift. One more big breath here. And let's release it back down to the ground. Let's come into a comfortable cross-legged position. And we're going to go into Psychic Union Pose. So sitting up nice and tall here. Take our arms behind the back. I'm going to take my right hand, grab the left wrist, and fold forward. Trying to bring the head down to the mat. Again, it's totally okay if you don't reach the mat. Let's come back up. Switch hands, so the left hand's gonna grab the right wrist now. Sitting nice and tall. Exhale, let's fold forward. Bring it back up to your comfortable seated position. Today we're going to work on half lotus. So let's start with our right foot. So I'm going to take my right foot up to my left hip crease. Okay, so if that is just not in your realm of doing today, like it's not going to happen. Option to go into fire log pose. So our left shin parallel to the edge of the mat. Right ankle sits on the left knee, right knee over the left ankle. So there's an option. Other option, half lotus. Or if both of those are not working for you today for whatever reason, find a comfortable seated position and focus on the breath. Okay, let's undo that. Let's take it to the other side. So we're going to take our left foot. Again, you can go into fire log if that's what you prefer to do today, or go for half lotus. We're going to bring our left foot right into the right hip crease. Right leg can hang out on the floor where it is comfortable. If this hurts your knees at all, come on out of it. We don't want to risk your joints for the sake of a pose. All right, let's come on out. And we'll make our way onto our back. Let's tuck the knees into the chest. Maybe a little rocking. And then we're gonna head into legs at the wall minus the wall, unless you want to scooch over to the wall. So let's extend one leg out toward the ceiling and then the other. You can put your little footprints up there. Let's bend one leg, then the other. Bring your feet to the mat and extend them long. We're going to come up onto our elbows. We're heading into fish pose today. You can leave your hands right here, or scooch them under your bum, whichever you prefer. Then we're going to shift our weight back, tilt the head back, see if you can get the crown of your head to the floor. No magic happens if you do. Try to stay really open through the chest. Okay, to come out, let's reverse it. So let's shift our weight forward, bring our chin back to our chest. If your hands are underneath, let's take them out. We'll lay back on the mat. Bring the soles of the feet together. So we're going to take a reclined butterfly variation. Bring the arms up overhead, grabbing opposite elbows. Let's tilt the knees upward, bring our knees together. Take the feet out to the edges of your mat for constructive rest pose. We're going to reach our arms long overhead. Let's release the arms down toward our sides, slightly away, palms up. Extend the legs out, again, slightly apart from each other. Head into our Shavasana. Make any small adjustments you need to get more comfortable, maybe moving the shoulder blades, adjusting the angle of your arms, letting the feet fall whichever way they prefer. We'll take a moment to focus on our crown chakra, Sahasrara. Envision a white light emanating from the top of your head. Notice any characteristics your light has. How bright is it? How far does it extend? Does it have any sound, smell, taste, feeling? If you selected a mantra at the beginning of class, repeat it to yourself 3 times. Now let's head into a silent Shavasana. If your mind wanders and you can't let the thoughts pass, bring your focus back to your crown chakra or your breathing. invite you to make your next inhale a little deeper and let it out with a big sigh. Invite some movement back to your body by wiggling your fingers and toes, extending it to wrists and ankles. Take any other movement that your body is calling for here today. And when you're ready, let's bend the knees and place the feet flat on the floor. And then roll to one side. And take a few breaths here. And then let's slowly press back up to a seated position. Alright, let's seal our practice by taking our hands out to the sides, palms up. We'll inhale, scoop up all the positivity and universal connection that we created in today's class. Let's do it. Scoop it up, bring the hands together. We'll bring it down to our crown chakra. Let's do it one more time. To the crown chakra. And release. Thank you so much for joining me for practice today. Go out and feel connected to those around you. Be well. See you next time.